Hi guys, welcome to the Full Time Devils podcast. I'm Adam Mckola. Today I'm joined by Radio Gaz and of course Andy Tate. Remember, we're on Audio Boom, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify and YouTube. So make sure you're subscribing to the best Manchester United podcast in the world.
Definitely.
We've had some decent ratings on iTunes as well recently, so thank you everyone for that. We were climbing up those charts.
What were the comments saying last week? Because it was just me, Andy, and Abdullah last week.
Yeah, they were bad.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I didn't check.
Well, hopefully they'll pick up a bit this week then.
Maybe. I think we did have a problem last week because no names mentioned the person that uploaded it didn't upload it to the right channel, so it didn't go out on iTunes and Spotify in time.
Oh, okay. So
mentioning no names, Nick.
No, yeah, don't mention any names. No need for that, is there?
No,
Nick.
Not at all.
No.
It is pre-season at the moment. Manchester United are in Australia. Do you remember what happened the last time we were in Australia?
Was this the tour that Ed Woodward went missing? Is this what you're referring
That's exactly
to?
what I'm talking about.
He said he has to return home from the tour for urgent transfer business, and we never heard anything for the rest of the summer.
And wasn't it just after he had said we can do things in the transfer market that no other clubs can?
Yeah.
I think it coincided with that, and then he disappeared, and we were all like, what is he doing?
Well, we assumed that he must have been swimming back at one point because it was just like we genuinely didn't hear from him for weeks.
Unless he went to space and found some like intergalactic Space Jam type players that we're working on.
Could do with a few of them, couldn't we?
I mean, that's the only way we'd win the league this season, I think, to be honest.
Definitely. Some alien talent to, what you call it?
Space Jam 2 is coming out, isn't it?
Is it? Is it? Like, I heard that, but I didn't know if it was real or just or they were just going to do like a short version.
Do you know how there's like... I got in trouble for saying this the other week, by the way, that Mean Machine was a copy of Longest Yard. Apparently it's the other way around. But imagine the British copied that film idea and turned it into a football version.
I need you to recap.
Space Jam football.
I need you to remind me of the plot of Space Jam.
So
it's been about 15 years.
I think I believe this to be correct. It's been a long time as well.
We are going to get into football soon.
And I remember when I watched Space Jam, my cousin... No, actually, that was Power Rangers. My cousin fell asleep during the film in a cinema. But anyway, Space Jam, I think it's like the best basketball players on Earth have to play against the best from space to achieve world peace or something like that. Something like that. It's
a group of aliens take Bugs Bunny and his crew on the Looney Tunes to another dimension, and then they settle off on a basketball square off, and the aliens take the best of the NBA to play against Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny and everyone else. Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd.
You wouldn't be able to do that with footballers though, because even if Earth was at stake, they'd only play if they were paid enough. So
use Toy Story. Paul Pogba thinks he's Buzz Lightyear.
You know what I've just noticed? I know that this podcast already we've had about 2 screeching gear changes, but me and Andy are both in Beckham shirts today. He's got Beckham 23 on the back of his. I've
Retro
got Beckham
feel.
7.
Cool. But yours is snide, isn't it, Gaz?
I got this the day you left.
I do not.
I always wanted one, but I couldn't. There was that stage. I've been in that stage in my life where I never worn another club shirt apart from United, so I just didn't do it. But I've worn like a Spanish shirt and stuff.
Mate.
And I think since then I have worn another club shirt because one of my football teams, we used to play in Real Madrid shirts, which was weird. And the name above the shirt was our team name.
Bit arrogant, innit?
It was, yeah, we were bad.
Did you just pick Real Madrid because so many people just had white vests if they forgot the shirt?
Or, it was the blue one with the blue stripes. And I think it was just probably because it was on sale in Sports Direct or something, and we needed a kit.
That denim one a couple of seasons ago? Cause there was a denim Real Madrid shirt, and it looked
Double
quite
denim.
trendy. Denim one. I remember Ronaldo wearing it.
I know that you know about this, but I'm just going to get it out there anyway because I think it's quite a nice story. Sat here in this shirt today. This shirt was in the new camp the night that we won the treble. True story. Because this shirt belonged to my grandmother. Seriously. And she went there with all my family to Barcelona in 1999. They all got these shirts. I think they all had Beckham on the back, actually. And I gave her a call the other day, asked her if she's got any classic kits. And she said, I think I've got that one that I wore in Barcelona. And she only wore it once because 40-odd-year-old women don't cut about in football shirts very often. Got it, give it me. Found out it's worth about 400 quid, this shirt.
So are we raffling it off today on the show?
Yeah.
If the offer's good enough, I'll think about it. It's probably price has probably gone up now. I'm wearing it as well.
It's like them people on bargain on it that are like selling their dead nan's stuff with no guilt. Not that
my nan's not dead.
Your nan's not dead.
She's very
Touch
much
wood.
alive at the time of recording. Love you, nan.
Oh my.
We're going to a dark place. But Space Jam, who do you think should be in the football version of Space Jam?
Jesse Lingard for a start. Paul Pogba, there's two.
We don't just have to pick Man United players. And you'd assume we would be
Mo
picking
Salah.
It'll be like the
player.
most famous players, wouldn't it? So Neymar, Mbappe, they'd be in it.
So Beckham would still get in it.
Beckham would probably be the manager.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Would any City players get in it with? Kevin De Bruyne.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
I don't know. Easy.
Aguero has a face of someone that would
he's
be
got
in
the
Space
white
Jam.
hair. He's got
Doesn't
the
he?
white hair,
If
the
you look
white
at
ghost.
Aguero, you could see him in Space Jam.
Guardiola could be in it as a manager.
You could see Kompany in Space Jam, but that's playing for the aliens. That's the only difference. Let's talk about football. Manchester United are on tour. One thing everyone's been speaking about this week has been the state of our squad. Now, someone showed the squad in 2015, which was a lot worse. But what do you make of it? I think there's a lot of good young talent in there, but apart from that, not a lot else.
Yeah. I think I saw the interview on Friday with MUTV, and it was all conducted, no hard questions, and all he says, everyone's got a clean slate, and that sort of rattled me.
A little bit, yeah.
Because if you remember, was it after the Huddersfield game, some of these players will never play again for this club, and it really like frustrating. And our transfer activity it's been good so far, 2 signings, but nothing's gone out.
And Ollie wanted more than just
Yeah, he wants more.
2
definitely.
signings at this stage. He said when he wants to go out to pre-season, he wanted most of his business done. You'd like to think this isn't most of our business, but now we've got the whole Pogba situation up in the air. We already need 3-4 players, so it's looking like it's going to be a long one, isn't it? This summer.
I actually looked at the squad and I think there's loads of reasons to be excited. Like I think the young players there are going to be really exciting. We've already
Very
heard
top heavy though, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've already heard about Daniel James apparently breaking fitness records and stuff.
But what does that say about? Does that say Swansea have a better fitness regime than United?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
United were probably the least fit team in the Premier League last year based on how much they actually ran. So there's reasons to be excited because we're going to actually have a team that on paper is going to be a very fast, exciting and expansive attacking team. However, there's not enough quality in that team for a Manchester United team. There's not. And hopefully we do see some real, gung-ho football at times, but I just don't think that squad's good enough for top 4 this year.
If that side starts the season, if that side, what's out there now, starts the season, I'd be very worried for next season unless we make them signings of Maguire and Fernandes and we get the adequate replacements for Pogba.
I'd be happy with Maguire and Fernandes, but I still think we need more.
Yeah,
Another central midfielder. Even if Pogba stays, we need another central. We need 2 central midfielders with Pogba. Pogba goes, we need 3.
And a striker if Lukaku goes.
God, yes, we do, yeah. That's a good point, Andy. I didn't even think that.
Alexis Sanchez.
I think it may be worthwhile keeping a hold of Lukaku.
So do I.
Just because, obviously he wouldn't want to play second fiddle, and that's where the problem comes in. But the hassle of replacing it, I just don't trust the board at all.
Also, just to how really it would be so bad for Rashford, I think, for Lukaku to go now. Because I feel like we'd be relying on him.
Mason Greenwood.
I think we're already relying on him too much, Rashford. I think we're relying on him even more. I think having Mason Greenwood as a second choice striker, that's relying on Mason Greenwood too much. I don't think he's quite there yet. And, if Rashford isn't performing, then the only other... Who said, hey Siri then?
Don't know. Don't ask
Okay.
me.
Anyway, and if Rashford isn't performing, I don't think we're ready to rely on Mason Greenwood for a long period of games. Keeping Lukaku it would be good for Rashford, but like you say, he's not going to want to stay here and be second fiddle, and he's not good enough to be starting. I'd rather Rashford start than him.
I think Lukaku is good enough to be starting
he?
when he's in form, but I don't think his attributes suit the style of play that maybe Ollie wants to play. I do think he's the best goal scorer we have, though. And that has to, you're losing a big chunk of goals if he goes. And then we're asking, now we have to expect this of them this season, but we're hoping that they deliver. Rashford and Marshall to step up this season and deliver that amount of goals. They should be on 20 plus each, easy. They should have got 20 plus this season. The way they, because I think they came into December, January, and they were on like 15.
They have to get a
each.
supply though.
They do. That's true. And if we let go of Pogba, we've got no creativity in that team.
But you know what? We're being negative and talking about these young players, and maybe they have to settle in for a little bit, and we're not. And even Ollie said that he's not expecting them to set the world alight, but they might. They might. Like these Daniel James could come in and be absolutely brilliant. And also, let's not forget Martial. We've seen what he can do in a United shirt. If he starts next season with the right attitude and right commitment, he could be a phenomenal player for us next year. But I think if we're going to get top 4 or beyond, you're asking an awful lot of that squad to play above that level.
Well, it's possible because Chelsea obviously have the same question marks over them. So assuming they dropped out, there's 4. I don't think City, Liverpool, Spurs are dropping out top 4.
Arsenal, what's going
to happen with them?
Yeah,
because they've got very little transfer funds.
Tottenham can be inconsistent. That's the only doubt. Maybe not this season with the
when we look around the Prem, we've seen Ndombele go to Tottenham. Who was the other one that went recently that we should have been in for? Yuri Tillman go to Leicester. You're seeing central midfielders. Imagine we did let go of Pogba and we got Tillmans, Bruno Fernandes and the other man, Ndombele. Our midfields.
I'm surprised we weren't in for Ndombele. When I said this to Abdullah last week on the podcast, because I feel like that we're talking about these positions we need to strengthen in, but no one's talking about Nemanja Matic. He needs replacing ASAP. He should be. He cannot be starting next season, and he's gonna be. We don't have another defensive midfielder.
There was an alleged swap deal with an Inter lad last week. I read that.
Okay.
Inter Milan wanted Matic.
Is it Nangolan? Isn't one Finnish player for another? It's just like.
I don't want Matic out the club. I think he'd be great to keep around, but we need a new defensive midfielder with a lot more energy.
I won't get rid of him, but like you say, you're going to need a bit of experience in the dressing room. A couple of players, 4 or 5 at least, experienced players to bring the other players back in line. If they start moaning and bitching, you know what I mean? So yeah, I won't start in him. I'll be definitely keeping part of the squad.
I want the centre half just to be a real experienced centre half who's done it at the top level for a long time.
Maybe not exactly like fully experienced, but like, like Van Dijk in the terms of he's not vastly experienced, but when he come in, he was cocksure and he knew what he was like. I'm the man. That's what we need.
Not naive.
Someone that's going to come in and say, I'm the man.
Yeah.
And not, be just bottle the whole thing with Man United. And that's what scares me about Maguire. Like, it's a big risk, But
he's 26 and he's young, and United like a link with the Tottenham lad as well for 25 million. Alderweireld, he's 28, 29.
You'll have people in the comments now saying 26 isn't young. 26 isn't young. 26 is young for a centre half.
He could be our defence for the next 8 years.
Yeah,
he easily could.
Do you think?
He could be, 26, 8 years.
I mean, do you think he's good enough though?
Of course he is. I've often stated it.
Always backs him up, don't you?
I always back him, man. Like I say, he used to be with Matt Phelan at Hull City. He's even had briefings with Alex Ferguson in the past. He got injured in a youth game against Manchester United, playing for Hull City, and Fergie
for Sheffield United.
For Sheffield United, Ferguson even phoned him up to see how he was. So why not?
He says that was a turning point for him when Fergie phoned him.
Really?
And I can't remember what it was Fergie said, but he got injured. He kind of felt it was a massive setback, and Fergie called him, and it made him feel like he was the man again.
Ain't Fergie meant?
It's like with Van Nistelrooy, isn't it? When Van Nistelrooy on his knee and he called him like, I still want you next season, and he just kept Van Nistelrooy on the track.
Ferguson said a lot of inspiring things over the years. Remember when, was it in the treble season, Liverpool, Paul Ince last minute equaliser, and Ferguson just went right on the attack, and he said no one's going to rob us of this title. And he laid into the referee, had to go to the Sky pundit and everything. And a few minutes after, before you see that, you're deflated. Just watching that interview, I was at home with my dad, and it was just like inspirational. Like, oh yeah, we're having this, and we took it from there and won the league, and the rest is history.
Amazing.
Interesting story. I got sent today a worn Sir Alex Ferguson training top. It's not mine. I'm going over to Singapore. One of my friends wants me to bring it to him.
Right.
But like, I was just smelling it and stuff today. Like Fergie had worn it. Had the AF in the middle.
No way.
Everything.
Is that Starker mentality?
Stalker? No. I assume my mate paid a lot of money for it.
All right.
It was just easier for him to get it delivered to me, and then I can take it to him then. But yeah.
How much do you reckon that's worth?
I didn't ask because it probably made me feel sick. It's probably worth more than my car or something.
You fly out of the plane? You fly out there?
I call him back like, oh shit, I lost that top, you know.
I've got at home. This is another one that people won't believe, guaranteed. Because I've got no way to prove it either. But I've got a scarf that Ronaldo had on celebrating the league title in I think it was 2000.
Is it one that he's like thrown back into
and he's thrown it back into the crowd, and like my stepdad grabbed it and gave it me. I wasn't with him, but you can smell the perfume on the guy. Honestly, I don't know if you can still smell.
Unless like it was his mum's and she had it and it was perfumed up, and then he. You know, something like that.
This is Ronaldo we're talking about. Do you think he wasn't wearing perfume?
We've all got a piece of football memorabilia, haven't we?
Yeah, I've got one signed. I got a signed Spain shirt with Herrera and Mata on it. I like that.
We should bring it into the next podcast, do a show and tell.
I got a signed Jose Mourinho shirt, but I don't know what I'd do with it.
It's still, let's be real. That's still quality because...
Oh, it's quality. I might
he won a couple of trophies
for
United, and he's like... Regardless of how it ended at United, he's still one of the greats.
Oh yeah. I met him
greats.
when one of the greats. He signed me my shirt, and I was humble about it, and I was like just gobsmacked, and don't know what to do with it now. It's just, it's just in the cupboard, and it's in the wardrobe on a hanger. Might give it my nephew.
No, don't do that, Andy. Just keep it
because he'll sell it.
Good on.
Like Gaz, like Gaz with his Nan shirt.
Yeah, I've not told her how much it's worth.
So, do we expect any more business to be done this?
Yeah, I do. I expect more business to be done. It's got to be done. Otherwise, it's.
We're hearing talk about Lamina from Southampton.
I've not seen much of the lad, but
we need a midfielder, don't we?
I think he was it last season when the 2-2. He ripped us, didn't he? He ripped us in the 2-2 draw. So there's potential there.
It's much like Longstaff. Like, I'm happy if we sign Longstaff.
Not for 50 million.
No, he's not gonna. He's never gonna go 50 million. As long as he's not the only signing. Like Lamina would be a decent addition to the squad, as long as he's not the only signing, because we need a key name in there. Whether Paul Pogba stays or goes,
I think we need. We do. I think maybe just one marquee signing. Don't know who it's gonna be. If we lose Pogba, we definitely need one. I don't know. Like I've heard, was it PSG is going to put him Neymar on the transfer list because he's not turned up. That's what I've heard today. No.
That's not the kind of thing we need.
We don't need that, but that you won't put it past United to do something like this.
Just to get the replace the shirt seller.
Yeah, that's it. You want it. You won't be surprised.
I expect us to do a bit more business, especially because there's so many players who are up in the air about leaving. Like Lukaku, Pogba probably will be gone before the end of the window. Even De Gea as well. Like De Gea, that might be another one.
It does seem like he's closer to signing a new deal.
Hopefully,
from what we hear.
That would be great. But there are still players who potentially going out. I think we will bring players in, but I don't think they're going to be, like you say, the marquee signings. I think we're going to continue the strategy that we've done so far and sign in. Don't get me wrong, exciting young players, but not players who are going to come in and win us the Premier League. You know,
not straight away.
Not straight away. No,
it's going to kill us this season. Not been in it. Well, we've not been in a title race for 6 years, but
this might be a bit different this season.
We're on another level.
But this season we're going in and we know what's what a little bit more as fans. Yeah, we do. I feel like we know that we're a team that are capable of battling for top 4 and probably not much more. But when you've got a team of young players who are going to be exciting to watch, because I do think they're going to be exciting to watch, we're going to see how much they want to play for this club and how much they want to improve, and hopefully we do see some progression with those young players throughout the season. If we can finish this season in a good place, and we've seen some good football throughout the year from the young players, the next season we're in great stead.
I just want to see some attacking football and enjoy myself and go to the game. Even let's say if you lost 3-2, bloody hell, that was a good game.
Exactly, and exactly. And I think that people understand that. People could watch United even lose a game and at the end be just like, you know what, fair
How did
play.
you lose that?
Those lads, yeah. How did we lose that? Fair play. Those lads put everything on the line then, and I think that's what people are frustrated at the last few seasons. It's that they feel like it's more a lack of intent than a lack of quality, and hopefully we give these young lads a bit of leeway next season because they're not gonna come in and light the world. Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that, but in the future, who knows what? If we support them now.
You want to walk out the ground or walk into the ground like, oh, this could be a good game, this. You're coming out like, I'm going to look forward to Match of the Day tonight. You know what I mean?
I haven't watched Match of the Day in 6 years.
When was the last time that you walked into Old Trafford thinking that this is going to be a good game?
There's been periods, but there's never been a consistent, like, we had that, you know, the early stages under Mourinho.
That was it, yeah.
Even sometimes with Van Gaal, I remember there was you know good runs against the big sides where we were expecting to beat them. We never really had that under Moyes, but we have had that under the last 3 managers, including Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It just hasn't been a sustained period. United haven't had consistent performances and results, and that's been the problem. Even under Mourinho, when things looked like they were going in the right direction, the football wasn't consistently great. So we need to get that.
Him in for fun,
and that's the problem when you got young players, though. You've got to expect that there's going to be some inconsistencies in their game. You just got to hope more often than not they perform. Something that was picked up, I know you've covered in This Week at Man United, which is going to be up this week as well, if it's not already. The little clip of Pogba, Jesse Lingard in there. Now, I'll tell you how I looked at it. First things first, I went, that's nothing. If it was something, they don't leave it in.
Yes.
If it was something. Second part of me, more sceptical, said maybe United are putting the narrative out there that Pogba is causing a bit of unrest. But the social media team don't have the power to be able to do that.
No.
And, you know, those above, like, the social media team wouldn't do that, basically. If it was someone higher above that were going to do that, they'd leak it later on or something like that. So that's the way I looked at it. I just don't think it's anything. We see how Lingard and Pogba are sometimes with how they maybe have a little bit of banter. But
just for anyone who's not seen the video, it's basically a clip that the actual club put on the official channels.
With jazzy music.
I've got that, mate. I've got that tune stuck in my head. I've watched the video so many times, that royalty-free music. And basically there's a bit where Lingard sort of has his arms out as if he's saying something to Pogba, and you see Pogba turn back as if he's like really angry and annoyed at Lingard, and then you see Lindelof put his arm around Pogba as if he's separating them, and people have really looked into that, and it is literally a 2-second clip, isn't it? Yeah, Jesse Lingard put his arms out. What
I think that's the face that makes people think, because if Jesse laughs, it's obvious.
Yeah. He's right. He could have said, when you're leaving.
Yeah.
Like that. Pogba stops and turns round like that, and Lindelof's just gone straight in like that. And
then there's part of it where Jesse is a Manchester United fan, and he might be offended by the fact Pogba wants to go.
See, I love the idea that Pogba's turned up and Lingard's just been like, "Oh, you, what the fuck are you doing here? Thought you were off on your new challenge, you bellend." And he just turned. I love that idea, man. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just two mates having an argument over something stupid.
And Jesse's uploaded a picture of them both since.
Yeah. Exactly. This is literally just happened as we're recording.
No, that's been done by his advisor.
No,
oh my God!
Why do people think?
No,
some people are weird. That I understand these guys have social media teams. That's definite. So they have people who post for them. But people that say, "Oh, he's been advised to do that." No one phones these guys and says, "You know what? You're gonna have to do tweet about this," because they do it themselves. Like a lot of these like young kids, and I think Jesse as well. Like even around the time people were getting boiled piss about his Snapchat, I believe he did that more because people were getting arsey about it.
Yeah. He found it funny.
And like I think he found
it funny.
Like I think he does the same again. Like he'll just post a picture of him. Like, yeah, look, here you go, no issue.
Yeah, so there is no issue, but it was probably just an argument over something stupid. Like mate, like. You've pulled that face at me before I pulled that face at you. Know what I mean? We do that. People have arguments.
Me and him come after the Chelsea game last season. Everyone said Andy and Adam were going to lay the smack down on each other.
We did though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Off camera.
One thing that's similar to that is, you know, the end of "You are nothing, you're a fool, you're a waste of time, good night."
Yeah.
You walk away and look at me like I'm a piece of shit. And people think that you had a go at me and walked off in that video, like the people have told me before. But what people don't see is once that camera cuts, Andy comes back to us to like have a chat. So it's like There was no. He didn't just walk off and storm off. It just looks that way, and it's
I love the idea of you, Andy, getting really stressed at this fan cam, walking off camera in a dead dramatic way, and then just going, "Hang on a minute, I've got to go back."
Wrong way. This.
It's called the Manchester Derby, and if you don't know what the Manchester Derby means to anybody, if you're a City fan or United fan, you know what it fucking means to you. And it's just a shame that night. Fucking none of the players never knew what
That wasn't
it meant.
Derby night.
It was
Derby night.
Day.
Was
Look,
coming up.
3-0 to Man City.
No, because you said, and next week, April Fool's Day, the Derby.
No, I went next week, April Fool's, was just before the Bayern Munich game.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're right.
So
you're right.
anybody who knows what the Manchester Derby means, and that means the players for next season as well, know what it fucking means, right?
Still, my favourite Andy Tate fan cam is Passion, Blood, Sweat, Tears. That's the best, underrated.
Yeah.
And you know what I realised as well? The impact of his fan cams,
Thunder.
and they're all like a minute long. Like, how can you have such impactful...
The juggernaut, the cultural
No, what it
juggernaut
was,
that
though,
is
as
Andy
well,
Tate.
You can be critical with the right words and not go
Andy,
swearing.
I think that's what was so amazing about it. Like, you summed up how the fans were feeling without swearing and without thinking about what you were saying. So it all like,
I know what you mean.
don't take this the wrong way. Sometimes, like after you came back from like your hiatus and that, sometimes you'd think a little bit about what you were gonna say, and it wouldn't come out too natural. But those times, it was just spot on. He knew, like, it just resonated with everyone.
Or David Moyes, like a little kid lost in a shopping centre.
Like things like that. Yeah, like yeah. Those were bad times, but good times. In a
Good
sense.
times around the corner, hopefully.
I remember after that.
How long is this corner, by the way?
I know, yeah. I remember after that Liverpool game, the one where we got that smash there. And you know what? This is mad, right? But it's one of my favourite memories as a United fan, and what's made me think this is what makes United different from other teams. Getting smashed 3-0 by your biggest rivals. It was pretty much accepted at that point that David Moyes will be gone soon. This man's not going to take us anywhere. And you had the whole Stretford end singing together, singing like "We'll Never Die." And I was like,
times.
this is 20 times. I was like, this is brilliant. And that was at 2-0.
And they scored during it.
And Liverpool scored during it.
Suarez
And I
won
was
it.
like, and I remember thinking in the back of my head that, oh, this is embarrassing. We're all going to be dead quiet now and just be like, go back into our shells. And it got louder. And I was like,
But you know what?
Come on,
There's a
United.
video that I recorded because I was recording. Because at 2-0 down, I felt the same, and I thought, whoa, this is amazing. So I captured like the fans singing that song, and you see the scoreboard change to 3-0, but the song doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And like you can't tell that a goal has been scored against us. It's something special. And when I watch that, the hairs do go up. It's like and we've lost that. Like I feel at the moment, United fans are very fragmented.
hate each other.
Which is a shame because we all hate the Glazers. We all, want Manchester United to be in a better position, and we all want success and we want the same things, and it's just like very fragmented at the moment. But you're never going to get millions of people to agree on one thing, guys.
I just think it's the way that people put the things across sometimes. It's like, for example, I don't think that Jesse Lingard will prove to be good enough to be starting week in, week out for Man United. I just don't think he's got that much quality about his game. But you go on Twitter, man, and I realise it's people joking and they don't mean it. You got people tweeting him, wishing him dead. And it's like, I know that you think it's a joke and you think it doesn't mean anything, but
People hate me. Post shit about me. What, like I say, don't give a fuck.
it's just
Like
a
me,
very,
hate me, your choice.
Like I don't give a fuck what people say on Twitter about me, but it's very strange that
No, but I think
I'm just a
Twitter
United fan. I'm just a United fan, and I'll get a fucking ton of abuse.
Twitter is a
Poison.
I think what you've got to do is, and I've learnt this from the small audience we have compared to like professional footballers, but if you're in front of a camera, if you're doing something on a public level, you're bound to get criticism, and you've kind of got to take criticism with a pinch of salt, like you take praise and stuff with a pinch of salt. But Twitter is just the mad ends of both. There's nothing in the middle.
No, there's not.
It's
no.
always two ends of just crazy opposites, and
yeah.
no one I don't think anyone says half those things to your face.
No, exactly.
So
No,
it's
they
like
don't. They don't.
Keyboard
I know it's
warriors.
hard for some people because everyone has a different mental capacity and everyone deals with things differently and has different things going on in their lives, so something can trigger them or whatever. But it is just like step back away from sometimes. Like I take rest sometimes because social media is a bad habit, I think.
Yeah, it is.
And like I'm addicted to it. Everyone's addicted to it.
Give me the 80s,
But
man.
like,
Give me the 80s.
You got to step away from it sometimes, otherwise you go psycho.
I count myself quite lucky, but I saw someone recently, because I don't really give too much of a shit, but I saw some guy recently tweet me just saying something like "fuck off and die" as a response to like the maddest thing. I was like, what the fuck? Went on his Twitter, and his tweet before, he was saying how much there's a stigma on mental health and men should talk about it more. And then literally 15 minutes later, he's tweeting me saying "fuck off and die." I'm like, I'm lucky. I don't suffer too much with that sort of thing. But if I did, like people, this is what people are like on Twitter. They're mad, man.
Like I say, I will never have an account. I don't want an account. What's the point of the abuse?
Used to, innit?
I used to, but that was it. The abuse I got was vile. You know what I mean? Vile. Absolute fucking
But
vile.
no one gives a fuck about us. We're talking about footballers. Don't do it to footballers, man. They fucking play for your team. They're trying to entertain you week in, week out. Slag them off. Slag off the performances. We all do it. But when you're tweeting and proper trolling...
I did hear that about Pogba, or was it the Sun journalist yesterday? Pogba's more bigger with his Instagram account than he is on the pitch.
That's bollocks, isn't it? How much is achieved. And that was Neil Costas, the fat man.
What do you mean, no? He's bigger on Instagram than
He's basically saying he's a social media star more than he's a football star.
They go hand in hand. If his career continues like it has, like last season, if he has another season like he did last season, whether it's at United or not, he won't be the biggest social media star in football anymore. So he'll be taken over by.
To be honest,
someone.
I've seen I think Matic posts more on his Instagram story than Pogba does. But I don't think Pogba posts that much. It's just this impression because he has more videos of himself.
Yeah, I seen a picture of Matic in the dressing room. There's a bottle of Jack D's in the corner.
Come on, we all needed that last season.
Like I say, we all promoted Jack D's as well. You know what I mean? Send them by.
Send 3 Jack Daniels, please.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
just
please.
3.
No,
3 trucks full.
3.
Oh yeah, 3.
Send us it.
Can
we just do that? Can we just rattle off a load of sponsors one day? Just see who sends us free stuff.
Just send us free stuff, please.
Yeah, Greg's, Mackey's, Adidas, Puma, and anything from Hasbro from the Star Wars collection.
What do you...
Carry on.
What do you want for your Star Wars collection, Andy? That's what I want to know.
I want a Millennium Falcon original.
I love watching things like Storage Hunters and what's the other one? Porn Stars and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see it in the locker room.
Porn Stars is about PAWN.
Yeah, what they find in lockers. Yeah, was the Arsenal player was on the Arsenal fan?
No,
every day he was on at Storage Wars. The
American had to sit next to him. For
I know. The American one's even better though, because what they find is
Have
unreal.
you seen that dude walking around with a belt though?
Yeah, I think he's heavyweight champion of the world. But yeah, you know what I mean.
You know about?
Every
And he was outside
every day.
the Emirates.
Apparently,
outside the Emirates in his brand new Arsenal shirt, screaming cranky out into a microphone.
I will not name names, but there was a boxing match involving Arsenal fans, and we all know who it is. DT.
He never had a boxing match.
No, his son fought somebody else.
Oh yeah, Rance
from Man United for the other channel.
Well done, Rance.
But he's going around like that, thinking he's heavyweight champion of the world outside the stadium. You know what I mean? And they're protesting at the kit launch. They're protesting at the kit launch, saying "cranky out," and you bought the fucking shirt, lad.
Hang on a minute, I'm confused. What you on about? Why is DT's a guy from Arsenal Fan TV? Yeah.
Yeah. His son fought Rance.
Rance wanted to fight DT, not outside the ground, in a boxing ring.
Why the fuck?
And DT sent his 8-year-old son.
Is it for charity?
Charity, which is fair enough, a charity boxing match. And there's even talk of a rematch.
Fair play to
I just don't.
Fair play to it. I mean, DT's lad, he's a good lad.
At least United won.
And he's yeah, at least United won. DT's lad, he's a good lad, and he I don't think he can play football anymore.
Is it just?
But he's looking at a boxing career, which is good for the lad.
Is it just me who's
misunderstood? You watch too much.
Is it just? I was going to say, is it just me who's misunderstood?
It's boring summer. We need the football back.
Stop talking over me. Is it just me who has thought that? I fucking lost what I was talking about now. I don't even know.
He's lost his thought.
These people, right, I'm confused at what a fan channel is. I'm lost now. I thought it was...
We are the fan channel.
Where Man United fan or fans of something just get together and talk about what they're a fan of.
That's what we do here, but then it's like, if Andy decided to go and fight Claude...
Fucking hell.
We can't stop
the same age as my dad.
We can't stop them doing that.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's
right.
Same age as my dad. I respect Claude. I like him.
All right, I'm not telling you to Andy. It was a hypothetical. Relax, calm down. Don't burst any vessels.
If this video gets 20,000 likes... No, it'll be me. I was about to say me and Andy will fight, but it'll be me and Adam versus Andy.
On Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah, I into all of that stuff. But yeah, guys, Wally of the week this week. I am Madam Mckola. Paul Pogba and Mino, a shout.
Man, that's going to maybe say the social media manager who put that video out without checking it.
I'm going to go for some outside the box. The referee in a Copa America match between sent-off Lionel Messi and Chile.
Messi did step on his ankle though.
I know, but the referee saw an opportunity and just sent them both off. But from what I've heard, that referee won't referee again.
And I hate to say
Some
this,
gangsters coming for him.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's some shit going down there, isn't there? That's what's happening.
That ain't for a football
Maradona's
show.
fucking
That'll be on
at it.
crime investigation next year.
Have you seen this referee?
Maradona's looking for him with a kosh. No, but yeah, the other one was worse. I hate to say it, but Gabriel Jesus, that one. That was.
I've seen the picture of him crying. I haven't seen the red
mate,
card.
if that was a second yellow card, then fuck me, anything is. Jumped
Not
up for an
seen it.
header and got sent off for it. Second yellow card.
Standard referee in the world's poor, innit?
I know, yeah. And I tell you what, it was. I watched a bit of that women's football as well, World Cup, and the referee's just as shit in that. So
Yes.
true equality. It's here.
That would it say?
Sexism is
You know,
over.
the tea lady.
It's crazy that America are world champions at football, right?
Yeah, but in America, it's like more culturally seen that football's a football
Yeah,
sport,
I
innit?
know,
So
I
it
know,
kind of makes sense.
And
though.
because they have like their schooling system for schools is amazing.
Yeah,
Sorry, their schooling system with sport is amazing.
right.
Like in terms of their scholarships and all that stuff. So especially their women have a head start on any women coming out of European nations. But I think now that the money's been pumped into it, I don't think the quality level's there.
No.
So I wouldn't watch it personally. But I think now that you see money pumped into it, that eventually it will. And can only be good for the game, no matter whether it's women's football, men's football, dogs football, walking football. It can only be good for the game if they're getting bigger and more money pumped into it.
Yeah.
Like, we might have a daughter or something one day that wants to play ball, and like, if they can be millionaires at the same time, then I don't have to work.
If I can, if I can live through my children, and this expands that chance that my daughter will be a football player, I'm all for it.
Have you seen United ladies' first game of the season?
Yeah, City,
3 o'clock.
big un.
Oh yeah, straight. I come back from Spain. I'm there.
Yeah, I think
I'll be going at that one. Yeah,
it'll be good. That yeah.
Well, Nat will be there doing Fancam, so if you do go, make sure you jump on the Fancams, because as you know, if women's football is your thing, we do Fancams here with Nat. So keep it locked for them during the season. We're also doing Fancams on a pre-season tour of Australia and Singapore.
Oh wait,
Struth.
when we go in,
You jumping on,
yeah, Struth, Mike.
We'll be there next Friday. You going to be there?
Yeah, I can't wait.
All
That
right,
sounds
see you
great.
there,
Have
guys.
you got our ticket? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, nice one. Can't wait.
Would you let me check my resume for Friday night?
Just get your visa sorted, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wally of the week, because no one actually said anything. You said the referee in the World Cup women's.
That's what.
That's what you said.
Yep.
I said the social media
Oh,
manager.
yeah. And I say Paul Pogba for allowing Mino Raiola to run his mouth. I love Paul Pogba. I want him to stay at Manchester United if he wants to stay, of course. I don't want him to leave, but don't let someone else speak for you, and keep it behind closed doors. If you're going to leave, keep behind closed doors. Tell Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I can understand why you would want to leave. It's just, treat us with some respect at the same time, is all I ask for. And to be fair, I think a lot of it is hot air at the moment. He's turned up at training. He's there, so you can't really say anything else outside of that. But yeah, just treat the club with a bit of respect and keep your dog on a leash.
Chelsea first game. If he's there, we'll see what the reaction's going to be.
I think the pressure on him is already ridiculous anyway, and I think a lot of that probably plays a part into it because he's our best player. Yes, he can do better, but should he be in the front line for the criticism and the abuse? No. So I feel like he's taken a lot of abuse for everybody else, including the owners, including the Glazers, including the manager. So I think he is taking a lot of heat for everyone else. So I don't blame him, and I don't blame him from a footballing perspective, but just
no, I don't blame him.
Relax yourself a little bit and
see where we are after 10 games.
P.S. What I'm trying to say is, please don't go.
It depends.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered if he stays a goal. I'm not
bothered since Beckham left.
I'm not asked anymore with him. I really am not asked. If he wants to go, let him go.
See, when Beckham left, that's when.
Yeah, sort of everything fell apart for the 2 seasons, didn't it?
No, it's just like that's where I stopped being emotionally involved with players because Beckham broke my heart.
That's when I stopped like getting names on the back of my shirts and stuff when I was a kid. My grandma refused to let me do it after that. It's like, no, it's a waste of money. We'll be in it next year.
Yeah,
get your own name. Get your own name.
And then I had Adam on it, which I find that weird that I had my first name on it.
The thing is, I've got 2 brothers, and me and Callum both had drink water on the back of our shirts when we were younger. But my littlest brother, it won't fit on the back of his, and he's called Henry. So we're just like, we'll just get Henry on the back.
Henry.
Walking around, everyone's like, Henry. Was he signed for United? Yes. It was mad.
That reminds, around the summer, you always see people with players that haven't signed for their clubs on the back of their shirts, isn't it?
I've never seen that.
Players that prematurely, you have the extreme example of the guy from the Man City guy getting Kaka tattooed on him.
Oh, yeah.
But you have other examples where people just get shirts printed before the players.
You know why that is, don't you? It's like, say if a story comes out, United have been linked to Dybala recently. Really unrealistic.
The City fan with Rooney on the back.
I know, yeah. But
like
Dybala, we don't think it's going to happen. But I could dead easily now go out and get Dybala put on the back of my United shirt, give the MEN a ring, and I'll be on the back page tomorrow. They're just attention seekers. That's all they are. That's why there's so many City fans.
Well, you do need work at the moment, so that may be a way to get yourself out there, guys. Keep your eyes peeled on the Manchester Evening News front page for Gaz's tattoo of Dybala. But for now, guys, we're going to be getting out of here. Make sure you're subscribing on Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. Leave your reviews on iTunes as well. Your 5-star reviews only, obviously. We want to try and get above Peter Crouch for once. He's always the one that keeps us pegged back,
It's his TV commercials with the phone company. That's how he's staying
Other
ahead.
phone companies are available. If any of them want to shout us.
If you want us to do a commercial for the phone shop, get us free. I could do the new Samsung 10 or an iPhone X.
Oh, really?
Andy never missing a chance to get a plug for a freebie out there.
No.
Gaz, anything you want to add?
Sausages.
Andy?
Greg's.
See you later.